Hi, hello, and good feels to you. Today I'm going to be taking a look at my favourite 5 James Bond quips. Whatever your thoughts or feelings about 007, you can't deny that he is a classic British movie icon. Gracing our screen since 1962, he can now often be found relegated to one of the ITV channels on a bank holiday weekend. Unfortunately, over time, due to repetitive content and poor writing, the character has suffered in recent decades.
Don't say it!
The writing's on the wall?
But he's always good for a one-liner, and here, in no particular order, are my top 5.
Ah, yes, the legendary 007 wit.
To many, Sean Connery will be the definitive James Bond. As the series went on, the character became more suave, smoother, and more flippant. But for me, the best Connery Bond quip is this one.
Well, he's certainly left with his tail between his legs.
Not only does it make me chuckle, it's also relevant to what's going on. I don't think that George Lazenby got a fair crack at the whip of playing James Bond. Being the first to play the character after the original Sean Connery, Lazenby was slated in the press before On Her Majesty's Secret Service even came out.
He had lots of guts.
He has a few one-liners throughout the film, but I think the best of them all is probably the one right at the very start of the movie.
This never happened to the other fella.
This fourth wall-breaking line has been debated by many as to its meaning, but personally, I like to think it's a nod to Sean Connery himself. Roger Moore had a substantial run of playing James Bond, and perhaps over that period saw a decline in the writing.
Can you play any other tune?
With many quips just being there for comedy value.
My God, what's Bond doing?
I think he's attempting re-entry, sir.
Bring tears to your eyes.
But I think one of the best Roger Bond quips is actually from his first installment in Live and Let Die.
That's a particularly handsome watch you're wearing, Mr. Bond. May I see it, please?
You'll forgive me if I don't get up. Butterhook.
I have heard that this line was improvised, but I often take stories like that with a pinch of salt. Timothy Dalton, I think, is one of the unsung Bond heroes. He is my personal favourite, and I always like the way he played the character. Perhaps because there's something about him that reminds me of my dad. I don't think Dalton handled some of the comedy quips as well as some of the others, but I think that's testament as to how he handled the more action-driven scenes and darker moments in the 2 films that he appeared in. License to Kill is one of the more revenge-driven Bond films, and this line is one such example of that.
Compliments of Sharky.
Some of the younger Bond fans hold Pierce Brosnan in quite high regard, and rightly so. He was the Bond of the 90s. He had the look, the style, and the delivery.
They'll print anything these days.
He wasn't short of quips throughout his reign as Bond, but my favourite comes from his last outing.
Time to face destiny! Time to face gravity!
Go get him, Pierce. Some of you may be wondering why Daniel Craig isn't on this list. Frankly, I think he's the worst Bond.
I'm sorry.
Thanks for watching this video, and if you enjoyed yourself, you can like and subscribe to Telebox, where you can find plenty more content. Take care of yourselves and be excellent to each other.
Shaken, but not stirred.